Hi guys, I'm Megan Graham, and first of all, this is Megan Graham Beauty at Home. So I am a stylist with 20 years of experience. I have my own salon on Newbury Street in Boston. I have trained in Miami, LA, London, Boston, New York. I have a lot of hair color training under my belt. And today what I'm here to talk to you about is something that happens when you have a hair dye fail and your hair actually falls out. So I'm really hoping that you guys are watching this video and it didn't already happen to you, because if it did happen to you, it is a terrible problem to have. I see a lot of clients in my salon, and unfortunately when I get people for corrective color, sometimes they have already done something really bad to their hair at home or had another stylist color it and they really didn't use the kind of care that they needed to use, and their hair is already falling out. So as a hair colorist, I have seen this before. Thank goodness I have not actually created it, because I am a very skilled hair colorist. But if you're watching this and you have already had a hair dye fail and your hair color, or rather your hair is falling out, there's some things that you need to know. So one thing that you need to know is that you should be treating your hair extremely carefully. You need to put away all of your tools that you would usually use that are hot. So anything like a flat iron, put that away and do not use it on your hair that's falling out, because your hair is actually most likely breaking off, not falling out of your head. You have tons of breakage. It's what we call in the business a chemical haircut, and it is not what you want to see. So if your hair is already falling out, put away your blow dryer, put away your flat iron, put away your curling iron. Please don't even think about using a wand. It will kill your hair. You need to be super gentle with your hair, and you should even be super gentle and don't even think for a moment about putting your hair into a wet ponytail or a wet bun. This would definitely be a time to use a scrunchie. You could loosely braid your hair when you're sleeping at night, and you have to use the best products and the best treatments because your hair has been through the ringer. And there's some things. So if you back up a little bit before you have the fail, like if you're watching this and you're trying to avoid having your hair fall out, which I'm hoping that's why you're watching it, because your hair has not fallen out, because I don't think there's anything worse than that. Anyway, if you haven't done it yet, here's something to remember. Everyone's hair only has so much life in it. So you can't just, go from light to dark to red to blonde to brown. Your hair really only has so much life in it, and then it's just going to fall out when you color it. Now, in the salon, I'm super careful with people's hair. I'm very careful about, bringing bleach through the ends of hair multiple times, because I know that, okay, think of it this way. Your hair is like a steak, and if it's medium rare, that's great. You have a little bit that you can still do with it. You can change the color, but once your hair is well done, there is nothing you can do to turn back the hands of time. You can't have it be medium rare again. You can't have it be healthy again. You can just only make do with what you have. So in the salon, I do use Olaplex when I'm coloring, and I will say Olaplex makes a huge, huge difference. But even though it makes a huge difference, it's not such a huge difference that it gives you carte blanche to do whatever you want with your hair. So, if you're going to leave 40 volume bleach on the ends of your hair for an hour, you are probably going to have your hair fall out. It's just not a good idea. Your hair is much more likely to fall out if you use bleach than if you use color, because color will eventually stop working. Bleach will eat through your hair, and you will find out that your hair is on the floor. So in the salon, many, many times when someone comes to me for a consult and I look at their hair and I can tell it doesn't have the quality, it doesn't have the elasticity, and it doesn't have the life left in it to color, I just say no. Unfortunately, when people are coloring their own hair at home, sometimes they don't know that and they do it anyway. So, if your hair is already falling out from a disaster, please don't try to color your hair again. Please don't use any hot tools on your hair. Be super, super gentle when you're brushing it, when you're untangling it, when you're showering, and invest in some great products. There's so many great products out there. At the salon, I use Olaplex, I use Inner Sense, Rare Elements, I use many great quality products. It is not the time to go to the drugstore and buy something. You have to use the best stuff and give it the best care. But most of all, you need to give it a very long break from coloring. So if you have had your hair fall out from a hair fail, if you will, I'm so sorry if you did, you have to give it a rest. You have to do trims to keep it in the best shape that you possibly can. And that hair just has to grow out completely. Sometimes when I have color correction clients and there's nothing that I can do to fill in the ends of their hair, and I also know that their hair will not accept, any more blonde, any more highlights, things like that. It's just at the end of its rope and I can only deal with the new growth. I sometimes recommend that they put in extensions. But here is the important thing to know. You can only put extensions into your hair when it's not actually falling out and the damage is not too close to the roots. Because if your damage is super close to the roots, you're going to run into a new problem, and that is that weight of the extensions is actually going to pull your hair out and you're going to have bigger problems. So unfortunately, if you had a hair dye fail and your hair is falling out, sometimes the only thing that you can do is actually to wait for your hair to grow. I'll be honest, I've actually had clients that I had to have buy wigs, and I didn't do it to their hair. They did it to their own hair and they came to me, but there was just nothing salvageable. So I hope you didn't get to that point, and I hope that your hair is not falling out. And if you follow along with my future videos, I think I'm going to be able to help you to get some skills that you need that I know as a hair colorist from owning a salon, from being a cosmetologist and a beauty expert. So I can give you those skills that will hopefully just guide you on what you can and cannot do at home, so you don't have the kind of fails that you see where, I've seen them happen not only with hair coloring but also with hair styling. And all we have is our hair and, our skin and our presentation. So I know that we really value our hair, especially as women. We want to keep it intact and beautiful. So the most important thing when you're coloring hair is to think about the integrity and the health of the hair. And, you don't want to even think about doing anything that could possibly make your hair fall out. Also, just in case anybody hears a little tiny dog sometimes during the videos, I have these little rugrats that are running around, so you might see them once in a while. This is Alfie. He needs a brushing because I'm a stylist, but I did not do a good job with my dog today. So anyway, thank you so much for following along, and also thank you for giving me the chance to share some of my knowledge on these videos. I'm just getting up to speed on YouTube, and literally every single time I film a video, I feel like I'm on a first date. I don't think my true personality is quite coming out as much as I want it to, but I know with every video that I make for you, it's going to come out more. I would love to have any of your comments and questions. Just please feel free to comment below the video, and please hit like, please hit subscribe, and thanks for following along. Stay healthy and beautiful.